Okay, so we're coming up dry. I thought we were going to the Franklin McGavock. There we go. We got Franklin McGavock highlights. There's a touchdown, and I'm not sure if it was Carter Hendry or Wes Patterson throwing it, but Franklin wins this one 48-21 and sets up that big Region 3-6A matchup Friday night up at Mount Juliet. Wes Patterson there breaks loose for a long touchdown. Franklin 48-7 at halftime and puts this thing away pretty quick. So big win for the Rebels. They're 7 straight, and again, sets up a huge win, huge game Friday night when they go over to Mount Juliet.
Got a soft spot for the Franklin Rebels because their school colors are the same colors that we had in high school.
Really?
The Moline Maroons back in
Moline Maroons?
Yeah, easy.
That's an original nickname.
Yeah, it is an original nickname, and we were bad boys too. We were bad at everything. Hey, listen, we teased during our last segment with Tony Kemp, Houston Nationals baseball player, about getting the call, so to speak. Now, that's not something that normally happens in a lot of other sports. You're doing your thing, and next thing you know, someone rings you up. But you know what? It's a good thing. But just talk about how that basically makes you feel, not only you when you get the call, but your teammates. I mean, are they happy for you? Are they sad to see you go? I mean, how does that whole thing go?
Before he answers this, let me set this up, because the way Tony got the call wasn't your ordinary call.
Oh, do tell.
Okay, so Tony's playing AAA in Fresno. Fresno and the Sounds play in the same league, the Pacific Coast League. Fresno was here
when you got the call.
Right.
You're kidding.
It was crazy.
How many people did you have here that afternoon?
It's like 45 people on the pass list every game.
You're kidding.
I am not kidding. And it was pretty cool because, we had some guys come in, they want to do some stories and interviews and stuff with my brother. And, did those, whatever. So play the Saturday game, Sunday game is a day game. It was a beautiful day. And after the game, we lost. We were on like a 5-game skid, not doing too well. And whole team goes in the locker room, and I still had family, friends, some teachers from middle school had come, Tony Marlin, some of those teachers. And so my roommate, Nolan Fontana, comes out and he tells me, hey, we have a meeting. We have a team meeting. You need to get back in here. I'm sorry. And I was like, okay, I told him, I was like, hey, I'll come back out here. Let me go to this meeting real quick. And so go to the meeting, and everyone's sitting down already. So I'm like, sorry, apologize to the manager, sorry. And I sit down, and he's like, did you talk to everybody? And I was like, I'll go back out after the meeting and stuff. And he's like, those people are going to be really upset at you. And I was like, for what? And he's like, well, how are you going to put all those people on the pass list tomorrow when you're going to be in Chicago?
I know that's right.
And I was like, what?
I know that's right.
You serious? And so I wish I had someone to take a picture of me at that moment, because I don't think I was so emotionless at the time. I just was looking out into space.
TK, you've seen people get called up before. I mean, what were you feeling like when you saw them? Like, oh man, it's awesome to get the opportunity. Then it happens to you.
Yeah, and it just blindsided me. I didn't think that, I was gonna be, I don't know, you just so in the moment, you're like, all right, next day, go get him the next day, you're focused for the next game. And I think that, that translates from what Coach Corbin speaks, a Vanderbilt baseball team is, stay and live in the moment, and I think that that's what really helped.
I was fortunate enough to be there that day, and I'm chasing you all over First Tennessee Park because you've got a bunch of folks that are set up to interview you on Monday. I wasn't going to be there on Monday, so I'm catching up with you on Sunday, and yeah, he was just up here. He just had to go back to the clubhouse, blah, blah, blah. And
yeah.
So
I do remember walking with you from the first base dugout to the third base dugout. I remember that.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
So you will hear something crazy. So Tony looks at me when he's offset and he says, so you went to the Super Bowl, right? And I was like, yeah, I went to the Super Bowl. He goes, I cried during that game. I was like, really? He said, yeah, I was in 4th grade wearing my Eddie George jersey. I was like, man, 4th grade? Are you kidding me? This dude's like in 4th grade, and like we were playing the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Just kind of shows you how time flies.
Yeah.
Hey, we have to give very special thank you to all of our sponsors. Pull Apart for obviously bringing us the Pull Apart Peak Performers, Price Point Furniture,
where the price is the point,
for obviously giving us our state rankings, and also very special thank you, of course, to our title sponsor, Zander Insurance Group, and they're the ones that allow us to bring in guys like Tony Kemp here. When we have standouts like this, we've got to get them on the show. So that's going to do it for another edition of the Zander Insurance Countdown to Friday. Make sure you catch us right here, same bat time, same bat channel next Wednesday. Go out and watch yourself some Friday night football this week, guys. We'll see you next time.